Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast of the Ryan Lord Official Show. Today, we're joined by yet another very special guest. He goes by the name of Max Folaron. Max, please introduce yourself, let the audience know who you are, what it is you do, and then we'll take it from there.
Hi guys, thanks Ryan a lot. Lovely to be here. My name is Max Folaron. I'm originally from Poland. My background is mostly within the blockchain space, blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, and I'm also running my own startup, which is in the reward asset tokenization space. So what we do is like we tokenize real estate, we fractionalize real estate, and we allow every single person all over the world to build their real estate portfolio and start, building their asset base.
Amazing. So, what actually inspired you to get into this space?
So what inspired me was just the fact of the technology itself. I started in the blockchain space back in 2008 and 2016, and my first company in the blockchain space was in London, was connected to educational aspects. Since at that time, not many people knew what is blockchain, or they just completely mixed blockchain and Bitcoin. So they didn't know what it is. So I started by educating people, running events in London, working with banks, later as a consultant. And I was always very interested by the technology itself because I understood at the early stage what you can do with it, not only from the crypto space, but from the underlying technology of blockchain, how you can utilize in businesses, how you can reduce all the frictions in different types of industries. And yeah, I've been always involved in that market since 2016. And yeah, I'm just very happy where we are right now with the whole blockchain space.
That's super cool. That's super cool. So me and you actually met at an event, at a networking event to do with founders and investors. So how important do you think it is for somebody in your space to attend events like this?
Well, I always believe that, events and being proactive, it's like one of the key thing, whatever you do, right, to your success. So even with myself, when I finished uni, the first thing I do, I just left London and I just went networking. So I was flying all over the world, from London to Dubai, from Dubai to Singapore, and then all around Southeast Asia, just building my network. And for the past like 8 years of doing that, I think it gave me enormous leverage on whatever I do because of the contacts and relationships that I have built, that basically I can get first-hand information from different markets on different topics. And it's just amazing feeling when you have friends all over the world, because this business relationship changes into friendships. And that's what I always loved. So networking and building these relationships, helps you really much in order to succeed later on in your businesses, whatever you do.
So like what initially kind of do you kind of gain from networking? So you go to network events, right? What is your main purpose? So, for example, me, whenever I used to go to networking events, I used to have in my notes section on my phone that I need to talk to 20 people. If I knew that it was a 20-person event, now I need to talk to all 20 people, right? So, like, what do you go to events to kind of achieve? Like, is there like a specific outcome? And then we can actually segue onto the event that you went to in Paris as well, because you were telling me a lot of great things about that. So, this will
Yeah.
be a good point for the video.
Yeah. Yeah, look, when I go to the events, I don't really focus on how many people I need to speak to. I focus more on the quality. So my main goal is like find someone who I can learn from or I can do something with. So I'm mostly putting the attention to the quality. So I try to speak with many people, but then choose like based on the energy, based on how they talk, based on the experience, where we can get some synergies. Because with the networking events, you have like 100 people in the room. Maybe you'll be able to speak with 20 of them, as you say. But if one of them brings you some value, or you can learn something from them, or you can do something together, that's enough. That's more than enough, because it already changes and makes your day good.
Yeah.
So about a event in Paris that you mentioned, yeah, I just went with my co-founder to Paris. That was one of the biggest NFT conference in the world. It's called NFT Paris 2024. And yeah, we went there because as part of our business, we also have our NFT collection that we will be launching in April this year. It's basically the first NFT collection which merges NFT as a collectible with the real world asset, which, to put it simply, it means like whoever owns our NFT, they will be able to claim physical real estate in Bali for free. So basically, by holding NFT, you earn assets. As simple as that. You earn income from the assets. So it's something that we already validated on the market in January last year. And last weekend, we went to Paris to meet NFT community in person, to meet people who are CryptoPunks, own CryptoPunks, who own Bored Apes, and all these like top collections like Pudgy Penguins and stuff like that, and try to speak to them and see what do they think actually, in person about what we are creating. And what we have achieved blew our mind, because we literally our Twitter is like Find Turtle NFT if you want to check it out. And when we went to the event, we had like around 12,000 followers, and we are literally just starting our marketing campaign for Find Turtle NFTs. And right now, 3 days after, we are sitting at 45,000 followers. We have amazing engagement, so it absolutely blew our mind away. So very happy that we attended that, met amazing people, and it's another proof that what we're doing has been like really validated by the market and people love it, which puts us in a great situation for the launch in April.
That's super, super cool. So there you go, guys. Look, that's the power of networking. And he grew his Twitter following by what, like 30,000, would you say?
Yeah,
35,000?
30,000 within like 4 days.
See, that's insane. Like if that doesn't show you the power of networking, I don't know
All
what does.
organic, all organic.
All organic, no ads, guys. Look at that. So
Uh,
from this following that you just built, right?
yeah.
What's your goal now? Like, like is your goal to try and convert some of them to become,
Mhm.
like paying investors of your platform, or is your goal to, kind of just provide them with as much value as possible? Like, what's your actual goal now that you built this amount of followers within 4 days?
Yeah. The reason why we build the NFT in combination with the AssetCut is the fact to create viral marketing from the crypto space. NFT users are very specific. They're looking for specific things within the NFT niche. So these are the people we are targeting there. And that's what I think we're doing really great as of now. So the main goal is like by the time we launch in April, we aim to have 150, 200,000 followers. But these are not just followers. These are like engaged community, which has different types of tasks to accomplish in order to get even this NFT. So these people need to fight in a way, get a certain amount of points, and there is like a game included into that. So they need to earn this NFT in a way in order to have it. So once we launch it, probably, obviously, our goal will be to also convert a part of this user base into the AssetCut users, because obviously, from people from the crypto space, they're also looking to invest in different types of assets, and we are just creating this very easy bridge where you can convert your crypto assets into real estate. So something, very stable. And once you are like going through like it's my like third cycle in the bull cycle in the crypto market, you understand that it's not always going up. At the certain time, it goes down. So you need to exit at a certain place and then allocate your money somewhere. And it's best if you do it in some types of assets, right? So yeah, we're definitely going to be converting, but at the same time, we'll be still running Find Turtle and building that community. But yeah, we have some plans for that later. We'll share that later during the year.
Okay, amazing, amazing. So can you also let the audience know a little bit more about, your company, AssetCut?
Yeah, definitely. AssetCut is a real estate tokenization platform. To put it simply, we fractionalize real estate. We focus on the real estates which are in Bali. These are residential revenue generating. They generate between basically 12 to 14% ROI a year, plus another at least 10% of the value appreciation. So we are talking about like at least 20% return a year, which is absolutely amazing. We choose Bali because that's where we lived for more than a year, me and my two co-founders. We understand the market very well. There's very high demand for short-term, especially short-term rent. We have great partners there in terms of real estate developers, real estate agencies, property management companies. So the way how AssetCut works is just a very seamless way for any single person all over the world to start investing in real estate. So you just register on our platform, you register your account, you pass your KYC. So you need to upload your passport or your ID to verify. And then you just see what properties are available on our platform. You can verify all the properties, see what return they provide, see all the financial details. And then you can purchase that property as a fraction for £500, £1,000, £5,000, £50,000. Depending on your capabilities and how much do you want to invest in a certain property.
That's
And
super.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, and then following that, you just purchase that property and you are becoming a co-owner of that property, like a legal co-owner. And the way it works is that for every single property, we set up a SPV. So the SPV is not a company vehicle, and this company owns the property and you are co-owner of the company. So this is the way we can do it using the blockchain. And it basically transforms whole real estate investing, because you were never able to invest in a property within 2 minutes and own it. And this is what we're doing with AssetCut. So we can't wait to do it.
That's super, super cool. So like, where do you plan on taking AssetCut within the next year, within the next 5 years, and
Mhm.
then, 10 years plus?
Yeah, I think we are at a really great time because of the trend itself of the trend of real world asset tokenization is very strong. It's supported by the largest financial institutions like BlackRock, Citibank, all the central banks, which is great because it's like the fundament. It's like a confirmation that this technology and this idea is amazing. And it's gonna work. So in terms of AssetCut, this year we plan to tokenize. We plan to have at least $20 million worth of properties on our platform to sell it. So to sell at least $20 million worth of properties, and obviously build a user base of at least 40,000 people on AssetCut. And if you talk about next 5 years, yeah, our goal and the way we created the platform is to get the mass adoption. We want to allow really every single person all over the world to own the piece of real estate and to do it through AssetCut. So in 5 years, we don't want to only tokenize real estate, but we want to tokenize other assets. We want to tokenize solar farms, wind farms, franchises. We want to tokenize private jets and all types of assets, even infrastructure projects. That's what we're working on, and that's where we have relationships. So we want to create this whole ecosystem which enables people to own assets like, not only real estate, but literally create a diversified portfolio of assets, which has never been able to do before, especially for the normal people, not like super wealthy. Super wealthy, okay, always do that. But like average Joe could never have such a diversified portfolio. And that's what we're doing. So probably by the 2027, we expect to have at least 600,000 users. And I think we can definitely do that. And later on, we'll see, because, the markets always change. So we need to see where the whole markets are going, how we're heading. Maybe we need to readjust. So we'll see how it goes.
That's super, super cool. So how do you actually plan on, getting 20 million pounds worth of property on the platform? And then how do you plan on reaching your number of 40,000 users? Like, what are your strategies?
Yeah. So regarding the amount of 20 million pounds worth of properties, this is through simply the pipeline of properties that we have from our real estate developers, real estate agencies. And we're starting with Bali, but later on we are moving to other markets. Probably the second market I can give a teaser, that will be most likely US. To get the balance of like one exotic market, one very established market. And regarding getting the user base, we do it two ways. One way is through NFT that we're building, because this is how we are building the crypto users from the space. And probably by the time by mid this year, we should have around 200,000 users only then. And we understand that even if we convert 10% of that into AssetCut users, it's already amazing, because we have 20,000 users who fully understand what we're doing, because they all understand what is reward asset tokenization. And second part will be our marketing campaign connected purely for AssetCut and for not necessarily crypto users, but normal average users who are looking to start building their portfolio in markets like Bali, in markets like in US, and they are based all over the world. So this will be done purely by social media marketing campaigns that we run. And we are very lucky because one of my co-founder, Clevin, he used to have a social media marketing agency. He worked so much with the US clients, and he made great returns for them. And so that's what we're gonna do. You know, he has great strategies to apply, and they work perfectly with Fine Turtle as well on our Twitter. So we're gonna just do exactly the same, but for AssetCut itself.
That's super, super cool. Like that's yeah, like that's really cool. So in terms of I guess getting the assets on board, right? How do you get these companies to trust in you, especially if they don't know much about crypto or if it's like a shady area? How do you actually get them to be like, okay, I want to put my properties on your platform?
Yeah. Uh, it's actually quite simple because the way we work is like it's more like these companies, these real estate developers and these real estate agency, they are more fighting for us than we fight for them. And the reason for that is that we are the best play for them, the best place for them to create demand. If I have 40,000 users on my platform and all of these users are looking to buy the real estate, if they give me one real estate, I can sell it within one day. They can't sell it within one day. So that's the part of the community that we are building through AssetCut. So the way we approach them is like, hey, would you like to work with us? Because we're just gonna post your property that you have on our platform and enable our users to buy it. And then with our scale and the growth that we have, we can literally create a demand for you for $20 million worth of properties this year. And once they see it and then they understand how we work and how we operate, they are fully in. So they love what we're building, and they just it puts us in a very comfortable position where we can choose the partners we want to work with.
Right. And I remember you said last time that when it comes to your platform, people can actually invest with, just normal fiat currency, right? They don't actually
Yeah.
have to, transform their currency into crypto in order to invest. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. That's why it's for mass adoption. It's like we accept both crypto users and also fiat users. Those who want to buy property with pounds, dollars, or euro, they all can do that. No problem.
That's amazing. And for anyone that's kind of wondering, whether or not the platform is legit, like what kind of checks did you kind of have to, go through? Like what kind of certification, did you need in order to, yeah, like have this platform go live and in order for it to, be compliant?
Yeah. So it all depends where you want to establish your business. There are many jurisdictions. Every jurisdiction is different in terms of what you need to do in order to be approved. AssetCut is registered in the US. We work under the SEC regulations and then the regulation S, so-called. So basically, there is a whole information on how you need to structure your company and how you can operate and who you can sell to or who you cannot sell to. And it's as simple as that. And so as long as you follow this, then there are no issues with running the company that we're running. And a part of that, very important for us, was to build that fundament in terms of the company in the right jurisdiction so we can operate our business long term. And also, we're lucky to have a ex-SEC lawyers advising us on the tokenization and structuring our companies due to one of our investors who is also based in the US. So this put us in a very comfortable situation in order to make sure that what we're building as a fundament is like very secure so that we can operate our business long term without any regulatory issues.
That's super cool. And what about success stories, like speak to us about some of the success stories that you've had since launching this platform and then some challenges that you faced and that you've overcome.
So, the challenge itself, started like 18 months ago, and we started thinking about how to create everything. So the challenge was more like to create the whole strategy and how to plan, how to execute. So we were learning a lot from other players in the market, which were already established or were establishing at the time. It was more challenge of finding the right people to work with, finding the right lawyers, finding the right investors to have that synergy. So it's not only that we get the money from the investors, but we get actually they are engaged because they really love what we're doing. So that's what we really aim for. So this took us some time as well. And regarding the success story, I think that the success is already where we are in terms of like, I think we've built an amazing platform which people will find very easy to use. We have an amazing feedback from what we're doing from the financial institutions as well as from like our users. I'm right now here in London building AssetCut like more offline so people can see our faces. They can come and talk to us. I attend lots of events, so we've got amazing feedback on that. And I think that the main success will come with the first, with the selling of the first real estate that's gonna be done in March. So next month, I can say that already officially that then next month we'll have the first real estate on our platform. So people will be able to start investing in fractionalized ownership in revenue generating residential real estates in Bali. So we plan to sell that property quickly and basically turn it again into the viral marketing in order to gain user base and start providing great value to the customers.
Amazing. And then out of all of the countries that you went to, right, especially when it came to your networking events that you've been to, because obviously you said that you've been to different parts of the world, like which was your favorite countries?
Mm, One of my favorite country, I believe, would be from the emerging economies would be Vietnam. Probably, I think I find Vietnamese people extremely interesting. They are looking for so many opportunities, and they are very open-minded. They are very open to you. They see you, they come, they talk. They are not shy, which I think is super important. Singapore was great. That's where I stayed for most of my time in Southeast Asia for like 2.5, 3 years. And this is more like when you merge, that was a great time when you were merging technology innovation with traditional business. So there were a lot of frictions at that time, but that was always very interesting because when you have friction, you have challenges, and then when you have challenges, you have great conversations, and that's when you learn the most. Dubai has always been interesting to me in terms of in networking innovation, although there are a lot of people who are so-called sharks. They are not really doing what they say they're doing, so that's what we need to be careful. And over the past few months, I've been more exploring the markets in West Africa, which is Ghana and Nigeria, which are extremely interesting to me as well. I went in January. I'll probably go there again at the end of March, and that's also where we want to build. And networking there is also a pleasure because people, again, they look for opportunities and they are there to help you as well, how to establish on the market. It's great to see. So I really like working with emerging economies. And yeah, I also see it as a way to go. That's why when I was younger, I was always reading Ray Dalio books on
Yeah.
on the change of the superpowers and how are the cycles of the superpowers. So I'm aware of the like changes that are happening in the world. So that's why I'm very much looking at the emerging economies like India, another one, or China. So yeah.
That's super, super cool. And obviously right now we're in the fourth revolution, right?
Yeah.
So we're in the fourth revolution, but people are still living like we're in the second revolution, right? So what do you think needs to change in order for people to adapt to, where we're at right now? Because people are still, still living in, as I said, the second
Yeah.
revolution. We're two revolutions in front of that now. And I feel like, like there's still a lot that needs to be done, in
Right.
order for the everyday person to kind of keep up. So what would you say that needs to be done in order for that to happen?
Yeah, the thing is like when people are born on this earth, they think that their life is everything what happened on that earth basically. And we know the history of the last 2000 years, maybe 4000 years. We don't know much before that. So the thing is, I think in order to be like conscious human being, you need to understand the history and at least history of economy if you are in business. So you need to understand all these cycles and how the world has been changing. And even if you are born in the developed country like US or France or Poland or UK, you need to understand that everything is changing, everything is moving, and you need to react to changes because if you don't react to the changes, then you are getting behind, you're getting lost. It's like survival of the fittest, right? It's like pure Darwinism in a way. So you need to always think about it. So I think you always need to learn. Just don't be complacent. Just try to learn as much as possible. Depending on which industry you are in, try to learn what was before you started, right? And then try to analyze and apply it to the future. And also your network, who is also conscious, will help you to go that direction because you will both think the same way. So this will only increase your chances of success, I would believe. Yeah.
Amazing. And then let's say that you had £10,000 right now, right? And you needed to invest into crypto. What crypto would you invest into and why?
Okay, that's interesting. Well, since it's my third cycle, I'm not already such a risk taker as I was in the past. I'll probably divide it into a few buckets. First buckets, I'll probably do like 25% of Bitcoin, 25% of ETH. I would do 25% of Chainlink, or some, yeah, I think I'll do Chainlink. Because of the interoperability and the fact that they work with Swift and all the central banks. And the rest 25% that they have, I would do more risky and divide it into across some gaming, Web3 gaming, AI projects, and reward asset tokenization stuff.
Nice. So you're not touching XRP.
Uh, no, at the moment, no. At the moment, no. But I'm not saying, XRP is also very interesting, but it might be a sleeping giant. It was a great thing back in 2017 when there was a trend for micropayments. Right now, I'm not really following it that much as I was following it in the past. I have some small position there, but already for a long time. So yeah, I'm in the game, but I'm very much interested in what's happening because every cycle has a new things that are very interesting. So I'm mostly looking at these. Yeah.
What about Solana?
Yeah, it's interesting as well, definitely. Since October, that was a really good ride there. Solana, because of its blockchain capability, is great, although I think they need to get rid of the issues that they have with the blockchain. The blockchain cannot be stopping, as it's been happening, cannot be lagging. So, but definitely I see a huge potential because of the community on Solana of developers is very big. So this is very important for the project.
Amazing, amazing. And then we spoke about NFTs, right? You spoke about meeting people at the event in Paris
Right.
that owned like the apes, like the the NFT apes, right?
Yeah.
We all know kind of what happened with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? That's how you say it,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like what would you kind of say about that? And then what would you say about kind of the current state of NFTs and then the future of NFTs?
Okay. So NFT to me is like similar like crypto in a way that it works in cycles, and as the whole economy it works in cycles. So crypto markets works in cycles. NFT had its only first cycle back in 2020, 2021. We had a bear market on NFTs where the interest went down, and since October we see increased interest in the NFTs. Not only on Solana, but right now Ethereum is becoming the main one. We already had the bull run of the Pudgy Penguins, which basically got a higher floor price than Bored Apes. So that's interesting what's happening there. The thing is with the NFTs, I was always looking at utility, how you can apply it into the business because of its how they are structured technically. You can really apply really nice utility, and that's what we're doing with the reward asset tokenization. And I think in this coming year, this 2024 and onwards, there will be more and more interesting NFT projects and ideas, how you combine this collectible and you give it a real world utility. And not only events, not only meetups, not only community, but related with assets. And I think once this is done, this will really change the perception of the NFT itself. On the event itself, you had that was Paris. So that was just before Paris Fashion Week. You had all the biggest fashion houses being the main speakers, and they were talking how they plan to apply NFTs in their own business. For example, to make sure that the bags that they issue, the clothing that they issue is verifiable and people can make sure it's legit. Or we had the Musée d'Orsay. I don't know, I'm not French, so I cannot speak maybe properly, but we had them talking about NFTs, how the NFT community is growing within the museum members. So, and not only young people, but only people like 60, also people like 60 plus. So we can see that this community is growing, but it's still a very specific niche of people who understand it. But this niche is growing, which is great. So I'm very positive in terms of the NFTs and how you can apply, especially those with the utility. And I think this we'll see over the course of the next 1-2 years.
So then how do you think your average everyday person is gonna kind of adopt to NFT technology? Because I would probably say, probably like 95% of people don't really understand
Yeah.
NFTs. So how can we get the majority to understand NFTs more or even to be more interested in NFTs?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be quite similar, like with crypto, with NFTs where we are, it's probably like crypto back in 2013, 14. Also 99% of people had no idea what is crypto at that time and what is blockchain, what is Bitcoin. So I think this is just the process of learning. I think it's gonna be faster than with crypto because the crypto community is so big and it's very easy to convert crypto community to NFT community so that they understand what is actually going on. So I think that's gonna take much faster. But it's definitely a lot of things here about education, and there also needs to be more real cases, real use cases of what you can do with that NFT so that it actually makes sense, apart of just being a part of the community, right? With Bored Apes or Pudgy Penguins. Yeah, you need to apply to it some utility, give it a life, so then people will see, oh, actually, okay, I can do X and Y and Z with that. Oh, makes sense. Maybe I would like to get interested in it. Yeah. So I think it's just gonna be a process. Everything takes time,
Right, right, right. Yeah, no, that's very interesting. And then obviously, you said that you used to read Ray Dalio's books, right? So what would you say is like your top three books of all time? It doesn't just have to be him, but of all time.
Yeah.
What are your top three books?
I think I always like to read lots of biographies of the successful people, starting by like with Rockefeller, but also more recent like Phil Knight, Nike founder, or Richard Branson, or Elon Musk. Definitely. Like I think we learn a lot from the biographies, and we see as entrepreneurs like what people were going through, the struggles, then we can resonate with our struggles, and then we can also get a lot of motivation of like why what we're doing actually makes sense and why we should struggle and strive in order to achieve our dreams. So I think these are, I don't have, I think, three favorite. I just like a lot of biographies in general, or autobiographies, business related people. And on the other side, I'm really interested in the spirituality side and energy, books connected with energy, with law of attraction, all this stuff. Because many people believe, oh, it doesn't make sense and all this stuff, but I know it does. I know it works. And most of the successful people, if you speak to them in person, they will always tell you, yes, it works. So it's just the idea of affirmations of this spirituality and energy, surrounding yourself with people with similar energy, trying to go up on a higher energy levels. I think it's extremely important. So it's just more on the like being self-conscious about that something like this exists, and then try to apply it in your life and see whether it works or not.
Yeah, that's like me. I'm a very strong believer in
Yeah,
the law of attraction. And, as I said to you when we met at the event, like there's a reason why we're talking right now. There's a reason why we
exactly.
met at this event. So I'm a very, very strong believer in that. A great book that I read is The Secret, right? Like that book
Right.
is
Mm,
amazing, and I recommend, everyone to go and read that book, especially if you're, new to the law of attraction
right.
and yeah, manifestation. But I'm a very strong believer as well in manifestation and in affirmation. So it's good to hear that you also share, similar thoughts. And I
Definitely.
believe I believe that we are in charge of our destiny. Like do you believe the same thing that like we're in charge of our destiny, or do you believe that, other people or, other factors are in charge of our destiny?
No, I believe that we are in charge of our destiny. It's great to have external factors helping us. For example, a luck. It's good to be lucky. This
Yeah.
that's I think it's important. But yeah, I definitely believe that it all depends on us where we want to be and what we want to do and what we want to achieve. Yeah.
That's super cool. And then what advice would you give to upcoming entrepreneurs, especially those that are trying to go into the same space as you?
Mm. Well, I believe it's very important to be just persistent. And if you have some idea which is innovative, just try to validate it first. Just make sure that the market, there is market for that and there is interest. Sometimes, even within my industry, if I went into tokenizing real estate back in 2018, it was great, but it was too early. No one was interested. So it's also about the timing in your business. So try to validate as much as possible. Try to speak with people. Get the criticism and analyze this criticism. Sometimes this criticism will not make any sense, but sometimes it will. And just try to learn from it. And the more people you speak with about your idea, the better it is because the more perspectives you get. So. But yeah, just be persistent, and then if you validate it and it makes sense, just go for it, and try to be fully into it. Because I believe that's when you actually can achieve what you really want to do. So there will be many no sayers, but just go for it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And to wrap up, usually what what I do on this podcast is very similar to Stephen Bartlett and Diary of a CEO on YouTube. I basically ask the guests to bring forward a question that they'll like to ask the next guest. So basically, the previous guest has a question for you, and they have asked, what's the one thing that you've been the most naive about?
Was the one thing I've been the most naive about. I think, especially earlier on into my journey, and when I was building my other businesses, I was very naive about people. I trusted people too easily. So that's where I was naive. I think just based on that, someone told me something, I already believed in that, and this came out very often to be not true because many people lie. And this cost me lots of time, lots of money, and lots of long nights, which didn't make any sense. So I think that's what I would say, to just like, I was naive with people in the past, and then the more I started to read about energy, the more I started to read about all this spirituality, law of attraction, I basically started just thinking about the people I want to attract and really starting choosing the people I want to work with. And that's when my life completely changed around 180 degrees. And since then, basically, I just tell myself who I want to meet, types of people, and they just come to me. So yeah.
Right. So like what did those old characters kind of look like? The ones that have, as you said, been untrustworthy or that have, betrayed you in the past, like what were their characteristics like? Like how did they differ to the people that you surround yourself with now?
Mm. I think about the character. I think they were very egoistic. I would say, yeah, the ego was very big, and there was not much empathy in them. But that's also sometimes a characteristic of successful people, if you think about it. But it's more like the more you get to know them, the more you realize that what they talk doesn't really make sense, and you are just being naive because you're hoping for something, but it doesn't come. So yeah, So right now, I mean, it's just more on the energy level. It's like we went to the event, we just connected like right off,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
because
Yeah.
of the energy level, and
Hmm.
that's what I'm looking for, and it's in every single person I meet, whether it's like a friend, in an investor, it just I need this energy. I'm also like very proactive, so I need to feel it. I need to feel it, man.
No, 100%, 100%. And then what question would you like to pass on to the next guest?
The next question will be, what's unique about you in 3 words?
I like that. What's unique about you in 3 words? I've got
Yeah.
it. I've got it. Okay, perfect. And then, how could people find you and keep up with what it is that you're doing?
Yeah, sure. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn as Max Folaron. You can find me on Twitter also at Max Folaron. Regarding my company, it's AssetCut.com and it's FindTurtle.com. And the same names on Twitter, the same names on Instagram. So yeah, we are on most of the platforms right now.
Okay, amazing, amazing. And then is there anything else that you'd like to kind of, leave with the viewers and the audience?
Yeah, I'm just thanks a lot for this podcast, man, and for this interview. I really enjoyed that, and I think what I want to leave business wise is like I hope that there will be more and more people interested in the tokenization space, and I hope to have all of you on board on AssetCut. And if anyone has any questions, can reach out to me. And on the personal side, I just want to wish everyone who is listening a great success, and so that they enjoy their life, and they are happy, healthy and happy.
Amazing, amazing. I love that. Yes. So, guys, thank you for staying until the end of this podcast. Please be sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe, and share this with anyone else that you may think will benefit from this interview. But that's that, guys. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you in the next episode.